welcome back to How I See It. I'm Mabel Trandy, and tonight Jack Demler and Michaela Tobio are joining us to discuss the government's new ban on electronics on airplanes from 10 countries over Islamic State fears. Jack is a senior advisor to the president and has been a political consultant for over 20 years. Michaela Tobio is a journalist for the New York Times and followed the Trump campaign since he announced his plan to run. Now, Jack, let's start us off here. Can you just tell us a little bit more about this plan? I mean, it just came out. People aren't really sure, so definitely as an advisor, you do know a little more about it, right?
Right. So, Emma, thank you for having me. I'd like to first off say thank you. Now, listen, as intelligence is showing that the Islamic State is developing a bomb that can be hidden in portable electronics. Now, this is going to be a little bit smaller than the standard, or bigger than the standard cell phone, so it's going to be implemented on things such as particularly laptop batteries. Now, the ban will ban passengers in airports from 10 Muslim countries from carrying devices such as this aboard inbound flights. Now, this is big because obviously there are people concerned with the idea that it's only being implemented to the 10 Muslim countries. However, given our intelligence that the intelligence from the Islamic States is developing the bomb, we can only take the precautions necessary, and we can't implement such a big rule on everyone. We just have to do it only on where our intelligence shows us, because frankly, we just need to try and step out of this before we get in there.
Okay. And now, Michaela, you've written in many articles why you're against the Muslim ban about Muslim immigrants. And now, how do you feel about now banning electronics on planes just from Muslim countries?
Yes, well, thanks for having me, Emma. It's a pleasure to be here. My issue, obviously, as many others as well with the Muslim travel ban, was a huge, chaotic thing. And again, similar to this situation, it was very disorganized. I felt that there was no announcement on really how it was going to work. It was basically just set out in there. And that's kind of how this is going to go, because airlines are just being forced to comply with this ban, which really hasn't even been announced yet, by Friday. So
right.
People in these Muslim countries are just scrambling to figure out, what do we do next? How do we get by this by Friday? And they're very unsure of what to do, as yourself and I would feel the same way
right.
if something was just
implemented
shoved in our face with no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Thanks, Michaela. And so, Jack, jump in. Like, why then? Here, Michaela says that it's disorganized. There's not even been a formal announcement yet. Your administration. Why are we having this? Why is it necessary?
Look, Emma, regardless of the inconvenience, the threat of terrorism to this country is a serious cause of concern. The safety of our people are at risk here. We cannot play games. We cannot just take chances here. It is proven that Muslim countries are manufacturers of terrorism, and that the U.S. has to be more careful with who they let use
Not
such
all
dangerous
Muslims are
material.
terrorists. And actually, many of the Muslims that are being affected in this ban are actually allies of the U.S. So this is hindering our international relations. And if something like this is going to be put in effect...
However, given the intelligence is showing that the Islamic State is developing the bomb. Not the American people, the Islamic State.
Well, it could very easily translate to other nations, and I think that something like this should not be...
The intelligence doesn't lie.
Should not.
So, Jack, can you tell us a little bit more? Now, how is this, if these are allies of the Muslim, like we are allies with these Muslim countries,
right.
Why did we implement this? Is it just for safety?
We are their allies. Part of the reason is because we are their allies. We have to play it safe with our allies. We have to show them that we are out there respecting them, and we're out there with love and support for them, and we're not going to let them get blown up.
Respect is not the word, especially if we're banning them from traveling, and then on top of that, they can't even bring an item larger than a cell phone because of the
I would rather them be mildly inconvenienced rather than dead.
Well, everyone should be mildly convenienced if only a select
Michaela,
few.
you're hinting at this. Everyone should be mildly inconvenienced. So what do you think? How do you think this is going to have an effect on people who are on these flights, and do you think it should expand?
Well, I absolutely think it should be expanded. If these professionals working, I'm sure many of them have careers and are using these long 20-hour flights, if that may be, to get some of their work done. Send emails, Skype interviews. And I feel that as these long flights, many are professionals and they're using this time to catch up on their work. If they're unable to do so because of their religion, then
Well,
the whole country should have to worry the same and affect that.
Well, the only inconvenience is that they can't use a laptop or tablet. They can still use their cell phone. We live in a wonderful day and age where smartphones are available and you can do all the work you want on your phone. So yes, it is a mild inconvenience that you can't use the computer or a tablet. You might not be able to get to watch your movie in as big of a screen as you hoped. But take it back down.
It's not about the screen. It's more about the fact that we are being judged. We're still in a society where we're looked at, and these bans are coming upon us as something just because of the way someone looks and where they originate from. And I just
We are
don't agree with
flying
that.
people 3,000 feet in the air in a metal tin can. We have to take every precaution necessary when doing that so that lives aren't at stake when they fly out there. We live in a day and age where this is a very common thing.
Well,
we
then
have
why
to
not
take
make it?
All right, guys, I'm going to have to cut you both off there. Thank you so much for joining me. That's all the time we have tonight. A special thank you to Jack Demler and Michaela Tobio for joining us on the show today. After the break, we will be discussing the recent snowstorm. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.